No, but where are you from? Leeds, I repeat. You don't look like you're from Leeds. You look exotic. Exotic? Yeah, you know, like foreign. At school, no one asked where I was from. They knew. Even though they'd never seen my dad, even though he lived miles away in London, they knew enough to yell Chinky across the classroom. It wasn't so much the word that upset me then. I mean, why would it? I had no idea about the etymology. No one had ever thought to teach me about it. We didn't learn about these things in school. I didn't even know what etymology was. It was the delivery that upset me, the way they spat it in my face. That's how I knew it was a bad word. The playground hierarchy had placed me at the bottom of the pile with the blind kid and the kid that didn't know when his birthday was. At the time, I'm not even sure if I knew I was Chinese. When the other kids sang Chinese, Japanese, don't forget to wash your knees, and pulled the skin at the side of their eyes to make them look slanty, I joined in. How do you know who you are if no one tells you? In hindsight, I realised that my dad and his family clearly looked Chinese, but to me, at the time, he just looked like my dad. They spoke English, they drank tea and celebrated Christmas, so it wasn't completely obvious. Some of my more sophisticated London-based cousins knew to call my nana Papa. I was always too nervous to ask why. In Leeds, you call your nana Nana. My nana spoke in broken English and made the best chicken soup with noodles and knew origami without looking at instructions. But that was just normal to me. That's what nanas did. My mum never told me I was Chinese. We were poor and proud, and that's all I needed to know. That and Margaret Thatcher was a bastard. What difference did it make where I was from? As my boobs grew and my face caught up to my eyebrows, I started to get a different kind of attention. I was entering my most exotic phase, the me love you long time phase. Instead of being cruel, men now wanted something from me. Or maybe it was always the same thing. They were drawn to the submissive and willing stereotype that my almond eyes and dark hair pertained to her, not expecting the bolshy stronger than she looks gobshite that bubbled below the surface. They would retreat in bitter disappointment and I would begin to understand the power of different. But with this understanding came confusion. Where was I from? And did it matter? I started to read Wild Swans, The Art of War, The I Ching. I watched every Bruce Lee film. I taught myself to cook a passable stir-fry and not fuck up the rice. I started using my Chinese surname. I was from China, bitches. I was Chinese. I got a dragon tattooed on my lower back. I was a Chong, descendant of the great Chong Empire. That's who I was. As my confidence grew in my newfound identity, I began shopping at the Asian supermarket, giving a knowing look to the ladies at the till. I attended every Chinese New Year celebration, explaining to my non-Chinese friends the relevance of the lion dance as they listened attentively, clearly impressed. I even bought red envelopes and filled them with fake paper money and handed them out to my friends, telling them it would bring them luck. And of course, as I went to my local Chinese takeaway to order the least westernised dish on the menu, I handed the red envelopes over to my fellow countrymen and women with more knowing looks. Until one particularly kind compatriot came running out of the restaurant after me, handing back the envelopes and telling me that they couldn't accept them because I had, in fact, filled them with funeral money and that this was very unlucky. I sobbed over my Marpole toffee as I reverted my signature back to my British surname. I was a fake, a fraud, and I was now in limbo. Too exotic, too foreign to be from Leeds and too ignorant to be from China. But somewhere between then and now, the limbo lessened and I became comfortable in my own ambiguous skin. So go on, where are you really from? Me? I'm from my mum's vagina and all the vaginas that came before her. I'm from Leeds. I'm from China. I'm from everywhere in between. I'm from the earth. I'm from the sky. I'm from everything that went before and everything that's still to come. I'm from the playground, my nana's kitchen, the council house I grew up in, the books I've read, the films I've watched, the things I've seen, the things I've been, the things I've done and I've done to me. I'm from the love I've felt and the love I've dealt. That's where I'm from. Does that answer your question?